Okay, you have recently been through something unexpected and you were unprepared, obviously. Tell me what happened.
So we were pregnant with our third boy, and I got an infection that masked itself pretty good as like a virus, a flu virus. And so we treated it at home. And on the third day, it put me into labor. I was only 16 weeks. And we gave birth to our baby boy at home. And I didn't realize how sick I was until the ambulance took me to the hospital.
But you had, at that point, didn't even know what happened and why. You're 16 weeks and Sunday you started feeling like what were your symptoms? How did you start feeling?
Achy, fevery, chills.
So
that was all.
Like flu-like
yeah,
symptoms.
Flu-like symptoms. I woke up in the middle of the night, Tuesday night, with more flu-like symptoms, lots of stomach cramping that eventually turned into contractions. And at that point, it was too late.
So you got nauseous and were vomiting, right?
Yeah, I vomited, diarrhea, then I started bleeding. And I don't think I really wrapped my mind around that I was in labor until my water broke. I got up around 5 a.m. to brush my teeth. I just wanted to go to the hospital and get checked. I hadn't really connected the dots. I was also really delirious because it was day 3 of not really any nutrients in my body. And I sat on the toilet with urges to go to the restroom. My water broke, and within a minute he had come out. It was hard.
And did you know that he had?
Yeah, Justin was kneeling by me and I felt him come out, and I couldn't really bring myself to look. I asked Justin, like, is that our baby? And he just said yes, and we just cried. And we knew at that point he couldn't be saved. He was already gone at that point, but he was beautiful. He was a full body. He was 7.5 inches long. We could tell he was a boy. He had a cute little face and hands and arms and legs. We were extremely sad. We were in a lot of shock and disbelief, for sure. Like, what just happened? We thought we had a flu. Why did we now give birth? And then the risks of having the placenta in you, not passing it quickly. I've read enough to know that it's pretty urgent at that point.
So you're like waddling, right?
Yeah, I just kind of waddled to my bed, had a towel down. Justin called 911. They came and picked me up, and they didn't know.
But remind me, because Justin told me he clamped the cord with twine or something?
Yeah, the paramedics or the first responders, dispatcher said to clamp the cord. So he got twine and tied it. Looking back, the fire department was a minute away. And so we could have waited, but they clamped it as well. And then they cut the cord in our bedroom. I had 104 fever when I got there, and my blood pressure was 70/40. And they knew I had an infection of some sort, but it took hours for the cultures to come back, and it was strep A.
So they determined it was group A strep.
Yep.
And we're tested when we're pregnant for group B. Do we not get tested for group A?
So group A is the same strep that you get with strep throat. What they were perplexed with is I had no other symptoms, meaning strep throat or rash. Those are, if you were to take your kids in for strep, they would look for those 2 things first. But it was in my bloodstream. So I had a blood infection that made me septic. So it wasn't just losing the baby. It was, what is this infection going on? And how far has the infection gone? And how are we going to get you healthy?
Getting through that. What made you survive that, both physically and emotionally?
I don't think I'm quite there yet, but the second that we lost our baby boy, the words of President Nelson, "Think celestial," came to my mind. And I just knew right then that it wasn't my plan, that we named him JJ, that was JJ's life. That was his opportunity to come to earth and get a body. And it was very sad and hard for me and for Justin and telling our kids and for our families. But that was his life on the earth. That was his opportunity to get a body. And so I've had to work out honoring that, because so many women came to me and wrapped their arms around me and held my hand and told me, I've been through a miscarriage too. We've experienced loss. We've experienced infertility. I think all those women meant so well. I didn't feel like I had a miscarriage. So I didn't feel like I related to them. And I think loss, whether it be miscarriage, infant loss, stillborn, it's all really, really, really hard. And I don't have great advice, but just holding on to some sort of bigger power. For me, it is a plan of that's way bigger than me.